Okay. Breaking news. Breaking news. I had to pause the live I was watching to bring y'all this update. Um, on this article I just found in the Universal Hub. It's from 13 hours ago, but I'm just now seeing it. Um, so I definitely have to do a video on it because it's of particular interest to me. So without any further ado, uh, I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. Um, Share my screen. Try again. Screen. Okay. Share my screen. Am I live? I think I'm live. Yeah. Sharing the screen. Here we go. Boom. Okay. Data from man's ankle bracelet led police to charge him as an armed home invader, but court says that was unconstitutional. This is of particular interest to me. In my family, since my brother was charged with a case just like this, so I had to go live. So I just seen this article. This is from universalhub.com. Adam G added this morning at 11:18 a.m. It says in 2015, a man wearing a GPS device as a condition of bail on a Boston drug charge was arrested for armed home invasion in Medford after police there asked the operators of a state GPS database if anybody in it had a GPS pinged from the location of the home invasion, and his info showed up. In 2015, a man wearing a GPS device as a condition of bail on a Boston drug charge was arrested for armed home invasion in Medford after police there asked the operators of a state GPS database if anybody in it had a GPS ping from the location of the home invasion, and his info showed up. But the Supreme Judicial Court ruled today, that prosecutors can't use that data because the police didn't have probable cause to query the database, in a decision that also sets limits on the ability of judges to order people awaiting trial to wear the devices. But the Supreme Judicial Court ruled today that prosecutors can't use the data because the police didn't have probable cause to query the database, in a decision that also sets limits on the ability of judges to order people awaiting trial to wear devices. In July 2015, Eric Norman was arraigned as a repeat cocaine dealer in Boston Municipal Court. As a condition of his bail, the judge in the case ordered him to stay out of Boston, except for court appearances. Oh my God, every time with these news articles. Stay your ass out of Boston. But except for court appearances, and ordered him to wear an ankle bracelet so that officials could make sure he wasn't violating that order. The next month, Medford police investigating an armed home invasion contacted the state probation service and asked it to check the GPS database to see if there were any pings from the time and location of the home invasion, and Norman's data came up. Big mistake. The state's highest court ruled today that that sort of query is legally a search, and a search requires some minimal probable cause without a warrant. Big mistake. The state's highest court ruled today that sort of query is legally a search, and a search requires some minimal probable cause without a warrant. And in this case, police had a reason to believe Norman was involved. They didn't even know who he was at that point, and so no probable cause to ask probation to do a query and see what popped up. And that could mean trouble for the rest of the Commonwealth's case, which include a witness ID that only came after police got back the results from the state database. Police had reason to believe Norman was involved. They didn't even know who he was at that point, and so no probable cause to ask probation to do a general query and see what popped up. And that could mean trouble for the rest of the Commonwealth's case, which included a witness ID that only came after police got back the results from the state database. More generally, the court cast shade on the use of GPS devices as part of bail conditions. More generally, the court cast shade on the use of GPS devices as part of bail conditions. The court said that the point of bail is to ensure defendants return to court, and the GPS devices don't do that. The court said that the point of bail is to ensure defendants return to court, and that GPS devices don't do that. State law does grant exceptions in certain cases, such as domestic abuse, but Norman's drug case was not one of the crimes covered by exceptions, and so it's unconstitutional to require people who have yet to be convicted of a crime to be burdened with what is essentially a form of punishment and a restriction for people who have. And so it's unconstitutional to require people who have yet to be convicted of a crime to be burdened with what is essentially a form of punishment and a restriction for people who have. When a judge orders GPS tracking, a modern-day scarlet letter is physically tethered to the individual, reminding the public that this person has been charged with a convicted crime. Commonwealth versus Hanson H. 464 Mass 807. 815 through 816, 2013. Quoting Commonwealth versus Corey, 454 Mass 559, 570, and 18, 2009. See Commonwealth versus Goodwin, 458 Mass Select 2012. Ankle bracelet may expose the individual to persecution or ostracism, ankle bracelet may expose the individual to persecution or ostracism. Commonwealth versus Raposo, 453, Mass. 739, 740, 2009, describe an ankle bracelet which is permanently attached to the probationer. If a GPS monitoring device loses connection with either the cellular network or the satellite network, or the device's battery runs low, alerts from ELMO, the state office that monitors GPS signals, are issued. The individual may have to leave his or her location in search of a signal, or may be required to travel to a location where the device can be charged. These frequent interruptions can endanger an individual's livelihood. Lastly, GPS monitoring can place an especially great burden on homeless individuals. See Commonwealth versus Canadian. 458, Mass. 574, 575, 578 through 579, 2010, noting undisputed evidence that homeless shelters could not provide electrical outlets necessary to charge GPS units. Oh, that is a very interesting article. I'm going to post that on my newsfeed and in my story. Very interesting. Very interesting. Share it on my Twitter. Alright, everybody. Just had to bring that crucial update. May be important to learning you and yours from the Universal Hub. Fresh off the press. Adam D. Today, Tuesday, March 17th, 2020, 11:18 a.m. Alright, signing out.